Just one more minute and then we'll be starting the webinar. Just one more minute. All right, I feel we can start now. So hi everyone and greetings from Shiksha Online. This is Abhilasha Sharma, your host for today. And as you all know, the topic for today is relevance of MBA for IT professionals. So we have our speaker, Prithvish Goyal, for today, and he is a principal engineer at Atlassian, and he also has 15 plus years of experience in the field. So he will guiding you about all the strategies and all the necessities, all the necessary things that are essential for IT professionals and whether they have to pursue an MBA, they should or they shouldn't. So he will be pretty much revealing all the myths versus all the realities. He will be doing all kind of that. So we welcome you, Prithvish. And also, before starting the webinar, I have to tell you all that I will be the connection between you and the speaker. So in case you have any doubts or queries, you need to drop it in the chat box so that I can convey it to them, and then he can clear your doubts accordingly. So if any doubt or any query you have, you can drop it in the chat box. When we will be approaching towards the Q&A round, we will start picking up all of your questions. So for now, I will hand over the session to Prithvish and you can take it over from here.
Thank you, Abhilasha. That was a nice intro, and thanks to your Shiksha Online to giving me this opportunity to talk here. Um, Hello, friends. As Abhilasha introduced me, I'll still do a very short intro. I am Prithvish. I am based out of Delhi, and I have 15 plus years of experience in the industry. Uh, I think more details about my journey is one of the agenda in this slide, so I'll cover that. So the topic is around the relevance of MBA for IT professionals, and I guess a lot of us go through this phase where we get that question that should we be doing MBA or like should we stick to our IT jobs? So let's talk in detail about it. So when in this webinar, some of the topics which we'll be discussing about will be the market analysis of IT professionals and MBA professionals. Then briefly, I'll talk about my journey because I have some examples and thought process which the decisions I took in my journey. I'll talk about that. Then we'll see what are the different types of MBA programs, certification programs, and how to choose between those type of programs. And we'll see the roles of MBA professionals in IT companies. And towards the end, I'll give you my recommendation. So, yeah, let's deep dive into it. So, let's first see the market analysis. Okay, I'll first start with the IT professionals, how the sector is broken down. So if you see, there is a major chunk of, in fact, like almost close to 50% of people are in are either full stack, backend, or front end developers, and the rest half takes the other part of it, like mobile developers, DevOps, data science, cybersecurity, cloud, AI, ML, and QA engineering. But so when we see for each of these roles, what is the technology and language we should be learning, and we should be like different roles, what are the demands there. So I think front end, back end, full stack is quite evident, like people have been there from quite a long time. Mobile development have been again iOS and Android developers. With respect to DevOps, I guess a lot of people are already there in either doing AWS, Azure. Some of the languages which are really critical is Python. Uh, so similarly, data science, again, Python, R, SQL, people have the tons of courses have been emerging in this segment. Cybersecurity is another critical area which is scaling up. The more people are going to internet, the more cybersecurity is coming in place. Similarly, cloud engineers, very similar to DevOps engineers, Python, Java, Azure, AWS. AIML, very similar to data science, Python, R, Java, TensorFlow, and QA test engineers, like again, Selenium, automation, different automation tools are emerging in this segment. Now, if we see the market analysis of MBA professionals, so in this segment, you'll see there is a big chunk going into consulting, finance, and marketing, and other parts take uh, smaller segments: operation, product management, human resources, IT management, and entrepreneurship. These segments are really important. Why I am showing these segments? Because from these segments, you can understand the number of jobs in the market also, because it's again a demand and supply game. Like jobs are very similar to that. So the segments which are taking a lot of like a bigger chunk of this pie, those will be more number of jobs also in the market. Okay. So now, if we see market, like what type of MBA programs are there for different roles, like we have strategy, MBA in strategy, finance, financial management, marketing. People have digital marketing, which is again a very big area which is booming. In fact, like even in marketing, all marketing MBA programs, there is a course, there is a specific area dedicated to digital marketing. Operations, operation management, supply chain. Supply chain itself is becoming more of a global need. So that's also one of the area which is increasing a lot. Similarly, product management is very highly demanded in, I believe, like in all the sectors, either it be a tech sector or a non-tech sector. I think product management is definitely required there. Similar cases with human resources, same, all the sectors need these things. IT management, again, information technology, technology management. Then in entrepreneurship, a lot of people are going to, we saw a small segment also going to entrepreneurship, because a lot of people are interested to know more about the businesses. They want to know end to end what, how a business is, what are the different segments of business is comprised of. Then consulting, again, a major chunk goes into consulting, strategy, MBA in consulting. Then again, finance and financial management. Like these MBAs have been very traditional, they have been there since always. So, talking about these two segments, there is a very common question which often comes: what about the salaries? Okay, so next, it's a common thought which has been there since always. How much I'm getting paid if I'm an IT professional, or if I'm an MBA professional. So this might be a shocker to some people, or or people are already aware of it. But before I discuss this, there was, I'll quickly talk about, I'll quickly say uh, my time when I was starting my career. My At that time, my parents always used to say that, okay, you have done engineering, now you go to the next step, you work for 2 3 years, then you need to have an MBA degree. There is no escape to it. And once you get an MBA degree, you go and like do your job, and then you'll be considered as settled. This is going away. This is not the truth in the current date. And this image, this is from Economic Times. It shows clearly that the BTech packages and the MBA packages are neck to neck. And if I also may tell you some of the figures, there are 1.5 million engineers which pass out every year, and there are 300,000 MBA professionals which pass out every year. Now, if you see these numbers, there are almost 5 times more MBA engineers which are available, which are passing out, and these are aggregated numbers. So you can imagine how high the numbers. Like obviously there is a range. There are low packages also, and there are high packages also. But if you are taking a mean and that is still coming out to be comparable to MBA, then there might be so many highly paid engineers also in the industry. So we'll go there slowly. Then if we see other news, other areas where people have been talking about, so this is from another news, where tech talent salaries are on a rise, big data analytics, cybersecurity, healthcare. And another thing which this news says is hiring of MBA grads is slowing down as compared to BTech grads. Another taken it from another news article which says the expected salary is increasing by 12.8%, and major areas which are seeing this is e-commerce, startups, high tech, or IT enabled services. So that gives me that thought again, like when my parents or my mentors back then used to tell me, like, you cannot do anything without an MBA. That's not the case. They are comparable. So the single thought that you will earn more if you do an MBA, that is not valid anymore. So that is not a decision criteria to decide if you want to do an MBA or not. But we'll talk. There are different. It's not. I'm not saying like MBA is not critical. We'll talk about the factors which makes MBA critical, and where what are the decision. What are some of the areas where you need probably either go to a full-fledged MBA degree, or where you need MBA programs. But before we get into there, I would like to show some numbers from one of the site, which tells you. So just in case, like I'm just selected a software engineer here. I'm selected a associate consultant here. You can see the packages, the number of years, and the packages which are showing up. I can try for other areas also, senior software engineer, similarly a senior analyst, or I can also do a senior consultant here. Senior consultant here. So again, if you see the packages, like again, tech is leading, but again, there are so many tech jobs. That's why the numbers get averaged out. But tech industry and MBA industry are nowhere, like there is no comparison between them, that with respect to packages, they are going neck to neck. So coming back to our presentation, so next these were some market analysis. Let's talk about my journey. Okay, so because it's always good to have an example before I talk about anything about the courses. So I did my BTech in 2005 from IP University, Delhi. Then I got a campus placement in Infosys. While I was in Infosys, I was a .NET developer, but at that time, I had a more inclination that I want to switch to front-end development. So that was one of the thought with triggers that I want to change my job, and I want to look for a role which is more front-end heavy. So I joined Samsung in 2011, and in Samsung, I joined as a front-end developer, and in my course of time in Samsung, I got to a level of a tech lead. But while I was in Samsung, I was more core working towards Samsung products. So I got a like e-commerce was booming at that time, and I really wanted to get an experience of e-commerce. So I took a decision again, like I want to switch to a company where there is e-commerce work happening. So at that time, I joined Sapient as a tech lead, and in Sapient, I was there for 3 months, 3 years, and every 6 months I have done a very fast-paced development for either an e-commerce client or a hotel client like IHG, Marriott, Bang& Olufsen. I have multiple clients, like I don't even remember names now. So we made their end-to-end website, and this was my, I'll say like this was my second entry to the space of front-end development. So I became a manager here in Sapient. Then while being in Sapient, I was good at tech, but I really wanted to understand the business. I wanted to understand how end-to-end things work for a particular client, how marketing and HR or your sales, operations, all these sectors work together in order to deliver value to the business, and where engineering fits in there. So this was a point where I took a very major decision. I did an MBA in entrepreneurship that was from Illinois, Chicago. So it was a mixed course, a part-time course, and it had a on-campus on-campus also for a couple of months. So once I was doing this MBA, I realized that a service-based industry might not be a good fit for me. That was a point where I thought that I should be aiming for a product company. So after my MBA, I was still in Sapient while I was doing it. Then I chose that I'll switch over and I'll move to a product company, and I joined Make My Trip at that time. So while I was in Make My Trip, it was an amazing company. I was working through, like it was a very, I had that product ownership. I was owning the website from the front end perspective. But while being in Make My Trip, again, I got that, I figured out where I'm lacking. And one of the area which I thought I need to focus on is a global experience. So that was a point where I joined Atlassian. And again, while being in Atlassian, uh, it makes enterprise products. Anyone who's there in IT would have heard about Jira. So I'm working on Jira. Uh, so while being in Atlassian, I did a lot of strategies, but I really wanted to enhance on my org strategy mindset. So that was another thought which I got from Atlassian while working in Atlassian. And then I chose to do a CTO program from ISB. Again, it was a part-time program. It was a complete online course. And right now, I think just very recently in April, I finished this CTO program course. So what next? I'm still yet to decide. But yeah, like that, all these things have given me some benefits. So talking about what benefits I got from all these courses, so some of the areas which really stood out was enhanced leadership and management skills. I have been a more technical person. I have been always an IC, so I got good insights how leadership management skills are going, and like how different management frameworks work, how different leadership frameworks work. Getting a broader business acumen, especially that entrepreneurship course, MBA gave me a very good insight on the business acumen. There was a time when I couldn't even see a financial sheet, like a financial results from a company. But after that MBA, I was able to read that, and I could relate how engineering goals are fitting into the financial sheets. So that was the level of enhancement I got in myself. There was a lot of career advancement opportunities. As I said, like every MBA gave me a thought that I need to move. Every MBA or a course gave me a thought that I need to, probably I'm lacking on something, or I have not yet explored a certain area. So I need to move there. I need to advance to another new area. So definitely networking opportunities were there from both the courses. I am still connected with so many people, even from all the companies I'm connected with. At least with one or two people are there from the previous companies whom I'm still connected with. So entrepreneurial skills, global perspective, enhanced soft skills, innovation and technology. So a lot of benefits came out of those courses. So now that was my journey. Based on my journey, obviously, while doing all those things, I have done my research throughout my career. I have made those decisions where I have to go. So let's talk about what are the different types of MBAs or programs. Okay, that will be very important for most of you in order to know what should be your next step, where do you want to go as a part of your next journey. So these are different types of programs. Okay, full-time MBA, it has been the traditional MBA, have been there for a very long time. It's PGTM, PGDM, PGPM. Typically, these are the names which are for this MBA. There have been part-time MBAs, which are evening classes or weekend classes. They majorly stretch around 3 years. There are online MBAs, which are flexible, self-paced. It works 3 to 6 hours a week. It's a mix of recorded sessions and live sessions. There's a major benefit: professional doesn't need to leave their jobs while doing this. Then there are courses on specialization, finance courses, data analytics, all these courses. Leadership courses are there which is majorly focused on developing leadership and managerial skills. Certification courses are there, which this, for example, my course was a CTO program, was a certification course. So it offers certification from a particular college in a specific skill or a knowledge area. Then executive leadership programs are there. Usually these are pretty expensive courses. These are at CX levels, like CTO, CEO, on that kind of a level. Then there are dual degrees, MBA plus MS or MBA plus JD. So different types of combinations are there in these programs. So there are a lot of options, and I was skimming through websites for all the major colleges. Almost all the colleges are providing more than one type of program. Full-time MBA is there with all the colleges. Part-time MBA is not every college have, but a lot of colleges offer. Online MBA, again, a lot of colleges are offering. Courses, leadership programs, multiple colleges have started to offer. Colleges have been tying up with different vendors, different companies. So just for example, if I show you this Emeritus is the middle party through which I did the MBA CTO program from ISB. So if you see here, there are courses of digital marketing analytics, then leadership with AI, product management, global executive, professional certificate courses. So there are tons of courses available as a part of under these, and they are not delivering any of these courses. They are all of these courses are tied up with some reputed college. So this was a course which I did. Then there are digital transformation. There are multiple courses. You can have a skim through of these courses. So let's compare some of the different types of MBA programs, um, and see like what are the different benefits out of those programs. So if we I'm not picking all the program types. I have picked up the major ones. So full-time MBA, part-time, online, and leadership programs. So in case of full-time MBA, they are usually intensive, 1 to 2 years. It includes internship, live projects. They have immersive experience. A lot of networking is there. You are in the campus most of the time. They add a lot of market value. There is a placement support, but definitely it requires a career break. They are usually costly, depending on the college. Okay, and yeah, placements are there. In case of part-time, most of the benefits are there from the full-time MBA, but they are slightly lesser valued compared to the full-time MBA, because again, companies also consider the fact that you have not been dedicatedly um, studying through the full-time MBA program. But I won't say like they don't give you the benefit. They have limited placement support also. Again, a lot of people take this option because they have the flexibility to work. They probably need to support their families, or financial support is required. So a lot of people choose these programs also. Online MBA, they are self-paced MBA. They, among the three MBAs which we have discussed earlier, they are the least value. Typically, they don't even have placement supports, although they are really flexible. So I believe they are flexible, you can continue to work, but the benefit on like if we say like they are not even giving a placement support, they are least valued, then why do people do these? I did this, and these are really beneficial if you are in an industry and you want to gain knowledge, um, for like you want to gain knowledge in a particular segment, or you want to enhance your existing role. So a lot of people are doing it. You can see how many MBA programs, online MBA programs are there in the market, and batches are going full. So there has to be a reason, and the reason is the business acumen, learning, getting having more growth areas. So they are not that least valued compared to the other ones, but in a different way, they are really valuable. Leadership programs are again really important, but it basically targets more senior folks, majorly like 10 plus, 12 plus experienced people. They rarely get the benefits of these leadership programs. So now, among all these such a variety of programs, like now the question always comes in how to choose between these program types. So first, we'll talk about some criterias which really matters. So, for example, your experience level, I think, is a very top level criteria to pick up on these MBA programs. Because just for example, suppose you are doing a full-time MBA, and you are at an early stage, suppose you're a college grad, probably go for PGDM. They don't have any expectation you should have any experience level. It's a 2 year program area. You go ahead and do it. Suppose you are doing a PGPM, so they expect you to have some experience level. So suppose you have a good amount of experience level, like 7 8 years. Uh, in this time frame, a lot of people have doubts like should they be going with PGPM or should they be not? There will be a trade-off, in my opinion, because after PGPM, you will be away from your previous role. You will be considered as a new, a fresh, like a fresh MBA professional, and you will still have to probably start from a lower level or from an early MBA level at that time. So there will be a trade-off. You need to make a call based on your current, uh, current role, or what salary, or uh, what role profile you are into. Then make a decision around that. Similar is career stage. Then what are your goals and aspirations? You should know where do you want to head to. If you want to do any specialization, do you have any inclination towards technology? So based on that, you can decide if you are more inclined towards tech and you still want to do an MBA, then an online MBA or a part-time MBA or specialized courses might help you. Similarly, you need to know what is what's the industry demand and trends going on at that time period, while figure out the reputation and ranking of institution. How's the You can check what's the alumni strength of a particular college you are picking up, what's the placement support there. Another factor which is really important is your return on investment, because you can imagine doing an engineering at, suppose you are from an IIT. IITs are what, like 2 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs, if I'm correct. But similarly, an IM is 25 lakhs. So there's a big difference in your fee structure. And if you are getting a comparable job there, then you need to figure out like, are you actually getting the ROI or not? Just to show you there, if you see the numbers, so IIT Madras has a course fees of 2.5 lakhs. You get a package of 21 lakhs on an average, and it goes like the highest packages went to 2 crores. On similarly, like you see IMs have 25 lakhs of fees, and the average packages are going at 101 crore 15 lakhs, and the average package is 34 lakhs. So you can see the difference. You can see how the packages are varying. So you need to calculate your return on investment there. Similarly, your financial status, your employment support. Suppose you are doing courses, then what's your employment support? Sometimes a lot of employers do sponsor your courses. Suppose you are getting a sponsorship for a particular course, then probably your company might want you to get more expertise towards a segment or towards an area. So they will sponsor you in because in return you will be an asset to the company. So all these criterias are really important. You need to figure out what criterias are important for you, what stands out. Not all the criterias will be equally important for everyone. There'll be some which will stand out. So make that decision based on those criterias. Now these are the criterias, but there has been a lot of questions which people have asked me. I'll go to some of the scenarios now. So, what if you don't have a BTech degree or you have a BCom or a diploma course? I'll suggest go for a full-time MBA because a lot of companies don't, especially I'm talking about IT professional companies, because I am more aware on that segment. A lot of companies might not grow you if, or your growth will be slower if you are on a diploma. So companies expect a BTech degree. If you don't have them, probably do a full-time MBA. That will be really beneficial for you. A lot of IT people, after getting into IT, they realize that they don't like technical stuff. They don't like coding. They want to switch to a non-technical role. MBA is for you. You can definitely switch your role from a full-time MBA. So next, if you're a mid-level experience wanting to expand your horizon, online MBA, specialization, leadership programs, all these things are really beneficial for you. So strong in people management, either of these things, part-time MBAs or online programs. So suppose you want to switch your role, you realize that you're good with consulting or you like finance, HR, supply management, full-time or a part-time MBA. Again, like if you are more than 12, 15 years of experience, executive courses will really help you. Innovation and entrepreneurship courses can help you really well. I guess this was a time when even I decided to do it. So similarly, like switching careers, MBA. So wherever you are switching a role, MBAs have proven out to be a good way to switch your role. Uh, So yeah, just in interest of time, I won't touch upon all these scenarios. But you need to ask that question to yourself, like, what is your scenario? Where do you fall into? And what course or what program can help you get out of it? Okay. So talking about so suppose you still did your MBA. Okay. And after your MBA, you want to stay connected with IT companies. So, what are the roles, different roles which IT companies are still offering? So, a lot of IT companies have MBA people with them as IT consultants, business analysts. A lot of tech giants have IT managers, like they are hiring constantly, they are hiring IT managers, product managers, program managers, engineering manager, directors. Similarly, financial services will have IT managers, cybersecurity managers. Your startups again will have I think the startups have almost all the roles stated above. So, what are the different MBA, like when we talk about MBA programs for IT professionals, what are the different MBAs which can be really beneficial in IT segment only? So MBA program in information technology management or technology management, digital marketing, IT management, business analytics, e-commerce, innovation and entrepreneurship, systems and operation management, artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these are some MBAs which are really helping professionals to stay still connected with IT or technology, and a lot of institutions are providing these courses. There are different focus areas. So basically, you might enroll in a regular program and then you pick up a specialization in those programs. But these specializations are available with different institutions. So this is around. So that was around a lot about MBA, different types of MBAs. You really need to pick your poison. You really need to pick up the right kind of MBA that depends based on your role, based on your strength, where in what career stage you are in. A lot of factors matters there. So towards the end, I'll give you my recommendations. Again, it's like a disclaimer. These are my recommendation based on my experience. So it doesn't it may vary based on others' experience, like others' experience. So one thing I'll really point out, uh, the engineering era is stepping up. Like it it's excelling a lot, and with the wave of automation, AI, ML, um, more technical solutions are required. Literally, like I have being a front end, being closer to front end, people who are not even doing their business online, still they want their presence on the internet. So there are different ways they want their presence. It might be for getting more data, getting more customers, getting more insights, analytics, or just a presence, or sometimes like an online website is always also like just like a card, the physical card you used to share for your business. These days online website or QR codes are shared in order to tell about your business. So the era has gone where engineering was any lesser than MBA. Engineers offer like engineering offer similar kind of returns which you used to get from MBA. So you really need to focus on your strengths, your interests. So the money factor has gone out of the criteria now. You need to decide on your strength. You need to decide what you really like doing. You need, as it's commonly said these days, know yourself, and that's where applies to the job segment also. There is I'll also say there is another quote which is very common. It says, is engineering driving the product, or is it the business driving the product? And it's both ways. In some companies, engineering is driving product. In some companies, business is the one where the product is driven from, and engineering is more on the supporting side. So again, you need to choose your like based on this. I'll go to the next one. Next recommendation: you really need to choose your role wisely. There is a very common problem I'm seeing with probably the younger generation who are just starting their roles. They are they very quickly come on assumptions. So if just for example, like suppose your current role or company is not that good, like you're not enjoying it or you're not getting good opportunities there, that doesn't mean that the role doesn't work throughout the industry itself. So choose your roles wisely. If a role is good and it's still not working for you, then probably the team is not good for you, probably the company is not good for you, or probably the whole industry might not be good for you. So just for example, like I have always chosen my company where front end was valuable. So if I would have gone to a banking sector, um, I mean, like front end is more supportive there. The front end isn't driving things there. But when you say e-commerce, e-commerce is definitely driving. Like front end is definitely a very critical part of e-commerce. If you don't have a good front end website, your business will directly get impacted. If your website is down, your 100% revenue for that time frame goes down. And the similar thing is there for companies like Make My Trip, Expedia. They are the on they have major business on online, um, uh, on internet, like online services. So choose your role really wisely. Don't assume a role is bad just because your experience has been bad. So you really need to pick that up really. You need to understand the market, and you need to pick up the right industry. So talking about the industry next is around industry only. You really need to evaluate the industry needs. It's really not like it's really important to pick the right industry. And I'll give you an example of data science. So a lot of times we have seen um, that data science is in demand in almost every industry. But to be very honest, not every industry will give you the same returns for a particular role. So you can imagine a data scientist sitting in OpenAI versus a data scientist sitting in a supply chain industry, or even a supply chain industry will have a lot of work for a data science. But there are industries where a data science might be doing a very low level work, or probably just analyzing the data, or cleaning the data, or probably running some existing algorithms over the data. But similarly, there might be cases where uh, uh, a data scientist is actually building algorithms or building a model. And we have those companies as examples, like again, as I said, OpenAI or Google Gemini. A lot of companies are building such kind of models. Talking about data science again, that brings me to the next point, which is don't follow trends blindly. There Everyone knows, like, there was a wave of data science. Everyone was running behind data science. And I just read it somewhere. I don't have that quote handy, but only 1% of data science engineers are actually making model solutions, like the algorithms, the models which goes in as an AI engine, or they become an ML, machine learning algorithm. Only 1%. So you can imagine so many people who got into data science, where would they have landed? Because data science is a bigger, it's a superset. It includes your data engineer, it includes your analytics engineers. There are different segments uh, in that profile. So don't blindly follow the trends. Um, I have been a front end developer. I have scaled 5 6 times in past 3 4 years, not like more than that, 5 years. But I have people in my network who are earning way more than a data scientist. Or even, I'm not saying any job is less, it's just that what I'm trying to say is, back to the first point, you really need to know the strength, you really need to be an expert of your segment. Just being average is not playing well. You really need to be an expert of your industry. To do all of these things, you need to stay in IT, you need to broaden your expertise, or you need to do a MBA professional course, MBA course, or a certification course, or a program, leadership program. You need to choose that. There are plenty available in the market, but based on your strengths, based on your career aspirations, you need to pick one. So that's all from my side. Thank you, and open for questions if there are any.
All right, so we will approach towards the Q&A round now. So if any of you has any questions, you can start coming up with that. And for the time being, I have one question from an attendee. So he says that how to choose best MBA in IT.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I covered a part of it. So see, you really need to choose, like, uh, So there are two, three parts from it. Like suppose, um, okay, I'll stay on this slide, or probably I'll stay on this slide. So suppose you are already an experienced engineer, like you have been in IT, you have been there. Then it depends on your career stage, your number of years of experience, and where do you want to go next. So suppose you are in an early stage, you don't want to stay with tech, you don't want to code, or you don't want to do technical operations. You want to still stay in IT, but you want to switch to a more managerial side or a product management. Then these are the courses which I showed you. Like these are some of the courses which will you will still stay with IT, but you will be not a IT professional. In the other case, suppose you want to stay IT professional, but you want to still do some course, you can do a MBA in artificial intelligence or ML. This will You'll still do an MBA, but you will be still an IT professional. So you need to choose what's your next career path, what are the next steps, and based on that, like you can decide your what steps you want to take next.
All right. The next question I have for you is, so a person likes to know that if a person is settled outside India, so can they take up MBA online?
Oh yes, I think if I go back to this site, this is just one reference, but if you see the global options, uh, I guess like all the major universities, even from US, they are providing courses around online courses or certification courses. Because if I tell you about my experience also, my MBA was a collaborative course between Great Lakes Institute of Management, Chennai, and Illinois, Chicago. But the MBA was driven by Illinois, Chicago. So there are these online courses. In fact, like these online courses kind of started from US and UK only, majorly from US. So there are tons of courses which all the major universities in US are also providing. So I hope that answers.
Yeah, I think that sums up the question very well. All right, we are still open for questions. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them right now. And I'm also checking the questions on other platform as well. If there are any questions that people have asked. Okay, so one attendee is asking that according to you, which will be the best institution to pursue an MBA in IT? Or if you will suggest that if there is any online program which is comparable to that university, if that person wants to have the authenticity of the degree and if they want to get placed in a good institution, so, what will you suggest them to? Should they pursue an online degree for MBA in IT, or they should pursue it from a university?
I'll suggest, see, if you so just taking this example, there are different MBAs provided by, or different types of courses provided by different colleges. I literally saw most of the websites like IIMS, XLI, NMI, NMIMS, ISB, all of these reputed colleges are providing courses. Uh, may it be full time, may it be online, uh, specializations. These are like really good colleges. And one thing is there, online MBAs might have lesser value as we discussed in the comparison, but the faculty which will be teaching you and the course curriculum which you will be having will be from a full-time faculty from the college itself. So the courses are good. There is no issues with the courses. It's just that you need to know that you are doing it for learning or you expect a placement out of it. If you expect a placement out of it, then probably a full-time or a part-time might help you. But if you're not expecting a placement out of it, you want to learn, then going ahead with IIMs, going ahead with ISB, that will be your first choice. They have very good programs across different areas. Digital transformation, AI, ML is another area which is really picking up. So pick your area, and colleges are definitely available. Like good colleges are definitely available there. Um, Personally, like I did my course with ISB, and there was one slide. Just I, uh, yeah, I think yeah, that one only. So personally, like I did my course with from ISB, and I really liked it. Like there were the faculty which was teaching us, they were not only expert on the management side, they have been in IT space also. There were people who have and they also brought in guest lectures. They brought in CTOs, CEOs who are leading reputed startups, or not, I won't call them startups but anymore yet. So they are almost going IPOs, but we got such kind of faculties also. So ISB was really good there. That's a personal experience I'm saying, but I don't say IMs will be any lesser in that segment.
All right. The last question for today will be, I think there is only one question left. Uh, it is that how to choose the right online MBA or an MBA program.
So see, if I go back to these questions or these criterias, so it really depends on your path. So I'll take some examples. Suppose if I look back, like suppose in my early times, there was I was 6 7 years experience, and I was a front end developer, and online courses were not common at that time. But if suppose they were common at that time, I would have taken a decision thinking that, okay, I am a front end developer. What's my next step? I would probably need to know how other parts of business work, because I am limited to front end right now. I might need to know that how I'm basically like being a front end, I'm more closer to the UX, the UI, the design, the product. So I would like to understand how product management works. That'll be a good insight for me. Similarly, like suppose I am a DevOps engineer. In that way, in case of DevOps, suppose I'm a part of DevOps, I would like to go for cybersecurity. I would like to go for site reliability. So there'll be always a segment uh, which you can think of that you are playing this role. What is the bigger picture of your role? What are the other areas which you will be, if you know them, then you will be much better. So you need to decide on that part, like which role you are right now in, and what are the parts which you will learn, and that will basically add on to your profile.
All right. Are we done with the Q&A then? Uh, so I don't feel there are any more questions left. If still there are any more questions, you can still ask. And until then, I am also launching a feedback poll. It is visible on your screens, you can see, and you have to just take out a minute and you can just rate all your answers here. Was this webinar helpful for you, and what are the topics you would like to consider in future from Shiksha Online? You can give your suggestions as well on our website. So until then, if there are any doubts or queries, you can still drop them in the chat box. So Prithvish could answer all of them. And yeah, then we can wrap up the webinar. I think all of the content you spoke about, it was pretty much clear. That's why there are not many questions. We usually have a lot of questions in webinar. So I think everything and including the presentation was very clear, and it was very crisp and clear about everything you spoke.
Mm.
So I feel that's all for today. Okay, if there is not any doubt or query, then I can just end this poll.
And
Everything and including the present. I'm still waiting. Just a minute. Okay, I feel yeah. I feel it's pretty much wrapped up. There are no questions coming up right now. So thank you so much, Prithvish, for being our speaker for this webinar. And I hope we can collaborate with you for such more webinars in future for different topics. And thank you
definitely.
so much for being a part of this.
Thank
Thank you
you,
everyone for
Asha.
being a part of this webinar. If you want to know about more courses, more free courses in MBA, in IT, in FinTech, or any other courses which are being provided by some prestigious institutions, they are present on our website, and I have dropped the link in the chat box. So you can go once and visit all the links, courses, and all the colleges you would like to apply in, and the online courses you would like to pursue, which are also available for free. There are some free courses also available, so you can just give a quick scroll to the website. And I think that's all for today. We'll be seeing you in the next webinar. Thank you so much, Prithvish, for joining us. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Abhilasha, for hosting.